Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Sab Vaishnav ko Jai Shri Krishna. Shri Valavadisha ki Jai Ho. Today is the 91st day, and we are continuing with Surdas ji ki Varta, part 4. After that, Surdas came to Jetipura. The emperor was in Agra, and he tried to search out some more of Surdas's compositions. If anyone brought him a Surdas composition, he would give them money and gold coins. He had the poems translated into Urdu script and read them like that. With the intense desire to get some money, many pundits and poets composed poems and said they were written by Surdas. Akbar was able to recognize that they had not been written by Surdas and told them so. He said that they were all stealing poems just to make money. The poets asked him, "Anyway, how is it that you know that they are not written by Surdas? This poem is surely Surdas." The emperor then had the poem written onto a piece of paper, and he took it together with the Surdas pad previously written on paper and put them both into water. He said, "With God as my witness, let the Lord decide." The poems written by the poets and pundits with the false seals all sank, but Surdas's padas did not even get wet. It happens like this. Those who sing the compositions written by the Lord's great devotees who have met the Lord are able to swim across the ocean of worldly existence. Those who sing the compositions cleverly written by those who have a worldly mindset and motive will just get drowned in that mundane sea. Part 4 continued. Those pundits and poets were all shamed, and they had to leave with their heads bowed down and go home. In this way, Surdas was a recipient of great grace from Sri Acharya. Part 5. Surdas served Srinathji by singing many poems to him for a very long time. In periods in which Kumbandas and Paramananda Das were singing to Srinathji, then Surdas would go to Gokul and to see and to sing to Sri Navanit Priyaji. There he sang of the Lord's childhood pastimes. Sri Gosaiji was immensely pleased to hear these poems. Sri Gosaiji then taught Surdas one work that he had composed in Sanskrit. It was sung in front of Sri Navanit Priyaji when he was in his cradle. Surdas then sang that composition. Rag Ramkali. As he lies in the swinging cradle, Shri Krishna's face with its most beautiful loving glances soothes the burning pains of separation that the gopis have been feeling for such a long time. When they who had been burning in his separation began to sing of his tiny delicate teeth, then they see that when he smiles they attain the zenith of their lives, which they live only for him, and the highest goal of their life. The sight of even this childish body is able to dissolve the deepest stubbornness in love of these ladies. What to speak of when he is older, when he will be able to ignite intense desire for him in these gopis' hearts. The Lord became desirous of climbing up onto the breasts like golden mountains of those Vraja ladies. He tries and then succeeds, touching them with his two soft, very soft and tender lotus feet. On his forehead his mother has anointed him with the mark of purest Gorochan, and the hairline of his curly locks is decorated with a string of pearls and jewels. His necklaces and other adornments are splendidly shining, and his moon-like face oozes with the nectarian essence of innocence. On his exceptionally lovely brow, Mother Yashoda has made a black dot of collyrium to ward off any evil eye. It looks like a black bee that has come to drink the pleasurable nectar from the god of love's bow. Sri Krishna's words, his kindly laugh, and innocent smile generate the nectar of love and remove the burden of the pain of separation. The poet Sri Vitalesh now asks, "Please protect us always. You are ours. Please allow us to be your servants." Surdas sang this in front of Sri Navanit Priyaji. Then he composed several padas in the same mood. Rag Ramkali. Sri Krishna, upholder of the Sri Giriraji mountain, looks most attractive as he swings in his cradle. The gopis are all full of bliss as they push him to and fro. His loveliness defeats even Cupid. Hearing the sweet sound of their ankle bracelets, the enchanter even of Cupid smiles. His teeth shine and are most attractive. On his forehead his mother has made a smudge of collyrium, and drawn a tilak of pure saffron. His eyes, also beautified with collyrium, fire arrows into the gopis' hearts. His curly locks dangle on his face, and he stretches out his arms to give great joy. And right there at that very moment the gopis forget everything else. He creates an ocean of joy in the gopikas' hearts. Surdas now states, when they see his incredible beauty, they surrender their bodies and minds to him. After singing this cradle song, Surdas also sang these padas about the Lord's childhood pastimes. Pada Rag Vilaval. Look, dear lady friend, at his astonishing beauty today. In the middle of his lotus face, his 20 pearl-like teeth jostle for supremacy and loveliness. Above this line of teeth are his 2 lips, extraordinarily attractive, smeared as they are with drops of butter. His 5 fingers appear like 5 lotus flowers close to his face. Aha, what beauty! The poet Surdas exclaims, who would have thought a child could display such an astoundingly gorgeous appearance? You should always cherish this form in your heart. Again, Rag Vilaval. How stunning the Lord looks today. On his lotus-like face shines his tilak, red like the sun and studded with tiny red jewels. Child Krishna is being fed with butter, and Nanda Baba smiles as he witnesses the scene. The poet Surasham now describes how his nose is adorned with a dangling pearl, and his parrot-like nose seems to be pecking at it. Translator's note. These 2 padas are known as Kutakatan pads, or poetry in riddles. The tiny red jewels are said to be ladybirds. Swans are the carriers of Brahma, the son of the lotus, and swans like to eat pearls. The pearls, hence sparkling white, teeth are known as the sons of the ocean, and butter is known as the son of milk. Study of the original text is useful, and the contemplation time is quite extended. Part 5 continued. Surdas sang these and many other padas to Sri Navneet Priyaji, Sri Gosaiji and Sri Giridharji, along with Sri Gosaiji's other sons. All agreed that Surdas was most blessed because he was able to describe in song all the different types and ways of adornment that were offered in the temple every day. Part 6. Soon after, Sri Gosaiji travelled to Jetipura to see Srinathji. Surdas wanted to go with him, but his sons all dissuaded him, asking him to sing his songs to Sri Navneet Priyaji for a few more days. So Surdas remained in Gokul. Then Sri Govindaraji, Sri Balakrishnaji and Sri Gokulnathji all approached Sri Giridharji. Surdas always sings about the exact adornment that is made of Sri Navneet Priyaji every day. One day let's make some very special adornment and see whether he can describe it. Sri Giridharji told them, Surdas is a very enlightened Vaishnava, and so he has the blissful vision of the Lord in his heart always. He will sing of it whatever adornment you devise. You should not test great Vaishnavas. The 3 boys decided to do it anyway. Sri Giridharji said they would make a very unusual adornment of the Lord the next morning, so the next day all of them bathed and entered Sri Navneet Priyaji's seva in the temple. They woke up the Lord and offered him his breakfast. They bathed him and began to dress him up. It was the month of Ashad and very hot, so they did not put any clothes on him, rather they dressed him in pearls. 2 rows on his head, pearls on his upper arms and belt, anklets and necklaces of pearls only. They gave him his forehead mark, nose ring and earrings, and that was it. Surdas was sitting in the temple annex, and he had the vision of this in his heart. He thought, oh wow, today Sri Navneet Priyaji's ornament is most extraordinary. I have never seen or heard of anything like it. He is wearing only pearls. So today I shall sing an extraordinary poem. The time for the opening of the curtains came, and Sri Giridharji asked Surdas to sing of what he saw. Surdas composed the following song. Rag Vilaval. Oh look, today Sri Hari is naked. His only adornment is strings of pearls. Waves of beauty arise from his unclothed form. The sweetness of his every limb is incomparable. Seeing it, even the sun and millions of cupids are put to shame. He has a lovely smile and drops of milk on his face. Surdas's Lord is laughing with the gopis. Hearing this poem, Sri Giridharji and his brothers were very happy. They asked Surdas, "Oh Surdas, what did you sing of today?" Surdas humbly replied, "Oh Maharaj, I only described the amazing adornment you made today." All the boys were delighted and said that Surdas was undoubtedly a recipient of Sri Acharyaji's great grace, for Sri Thakurji always let him experience him in his heart. Sri Giridharji went to Jetipura taking Surdas with him. Sri Giridharji told Sri Gosaiji the whole story of what they had done, and Sri Gosaiji remarks, "There is not a lot more anyone can say about Surdas. He is the boat in which this path of grace sails. He experiences the pastimes of the Lord incessantly. He is a great Vaishnava and hugely graced by Sri Acharyaji." So Varta Prasang number 6 completes here. And Jai Sri Krishna, Shri Vallabhadisha ki jai, Shri Nachi ki jai, Shri Namanit Priya ji ki jai, Aaj ke Anand ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. We continue the story of Shri Surdas ji, part 7 tomorrow.